Hello, this is Simon from Focus on Sound. I'm going to show you how to create a spreadsheet file from school data, one that's ready to use for batch import for Focus on Sound. The trouble is you'll probably get lots of information you just don't need. The minimum you need is first name, last name and class, though there are other things that would be useful as well. So let's first of all add a column for class. So we've got the class here, but we haven't actually got a column. So I'm going to put it here. There are various other places you could do it. So insert, I'm going to put a column header called class, and I'm going to call it 7a1/mu, just the same as there. And then I'm going to copy and fill down to the end of the class. So press Shift and then Control D is a good way of doing it. There are lots of other ways of doing it. Then I'm going to do the same for one more class. I don't need to put anything in there, but this is 7B1. And then I'm going to fill up to the end of that class. Okay. So then we've got a lot of rows we just don't need. We don't need that first one. We don't need the next one. So I'm going to delete those. And then we don't need any of this stuff in between. We don't need the extra lot of headers, including the year group, etc. So let's get rid of all those. And then if you look at the end, I've got something there. You want to make sure that all the rows underneath are blank and all the columns to the right are blank. Otherwise, there might be problems with the MusicVerse system. So then we can think about deleting what we don't want, the columns we don't want. You don't need the registration group. You don't need gender or date of birth. Let's get rid of those columns. And that's the basic information. All you need to do now is to separate the last and first names. So what I'm going to do is add a couple of blank columns. That's for the just in case you've got problems with double-barreled names, but let's see what you need to do. First of all, you need to select all the names you're going to separate out. You need to find the data menu and then text to columns. Click text to columns, and then you get this dialog box, and you want to choose delimit, delimited. Let's click next, and it might already be pre-selected with tab, but you want just comma. Forget about space, just comma. If that's how your names are separated, don't worry about the space. And click next and finish, and you get a message which there's already data there. You can ignore that. You've then got a column with last names and first names. Let's just call that last and that first. That works well in the MusicVerse system. Then we don't need this column anymore. Delete that column. So you've got columns for last name, first name, class, year group. If you've got the usernames that the school kids use, that would be fantastic. That'd be really, really useful. Then you don't need to get the system to create usernames. There is an automated system for creating usernames, but if you've got your own school ones, that's better. You probably want to set the same password for everybody, for all the kids to start with. Then they can change it to their own personal one if you're prepared to let them do that. That's all up to you. So let's assume you haven't got any username, so you're going to save it like that. So let's click Save As, And you choose from the drop down, you choose CSV. So there it is. And call it whatever you want. I'm going to leave it at that.